Hey everyone, this is going to be kind of a rant video on the state of Helltides. Helltides are in need of a buff. After spending tens of hours in the Blood Harvest, going back to Helltides to farm living souls just feels bad. We go from the smaller condensed areas with enemies everywhere, grim favors being completed left and right, massive loot drops from the Vampiric Siphon and 3 Altars events, to this larger, more empty area with world events that really aren't as time efficient as just running around killing things. It also doesn't help that Blizzard keeps trying to slow us down by increasing the prices of these chests. Before Season 1, the most valuable Helltide chest, called a Mystery Chest, cost 175 cinders. Then Season 1 came out and they increased it to 250. Now with Season 2, the most valuable chest is a Living Steel chest that costs 300 cinders. Well, really only 280, but we all assume that's just an unintended bug, so that'll probably be fixed soon. The point being that at this rate, how long are they going to keep increasing these numbers? That'll be a big question for Season 3. One of the worst feelings from Helltides is losing cinders, whether it's because the Helltide is over or from dying. Both of these have happened to me multiple times in the past week, and really was the breaking point for me making this video. One of the greatest things about the Blood Harvest is when it ends in an area, you don't lose your blood lures and seeker keys. I can log in right now, walk into a Blood Harvest, and still have the 138 blood lures and 65 seeker keys from when I last finished playing. Why is this not the case with Aberrant Cinders? What is the lore behind the cause of these cinders just evaporating from our pockets? This feels really bad when logging on and seeing there's only 15 or 20 minutes left in a Helltide. Do I risk wasting the next 20 minutes of my time if I don't get the 300 cinders and open the chest? Or do I just wait another hour and a half and come back later? I ran into this the other night where I got my 300 cinders with 45 seconds left, got on the horse, and started booking it to where the chest was located. I get there with 20 seconds left, and the chest is nowhere to be found. So I start moving around the area trying to find it, and time runs out. Bye-bye the 300 plus cinders that I just spent, 20 minutes or whatever trying to get them. Annoyed with this, I checked to see what time it was, and it just turned to 9 o'clock. For those that don't know, the Helltide chest changed locations at the top of every hour. So on my way to the Living Steel chest, the time changed from 8:59 to 9 and put the chest in a new location. Mentioned earlier, the other annoying way that we can lose Aberrant Cinders is from dying. This happened a couple days ago where I got my 300 cinders, I alt-tabbed out of Diablo 4 to look at helltides.com to find where the chest was, alt-tabbed back in, and I'm dead. Literally in 2 to 3 seconds, I died from one of those random meteors that fall from the sky in the Helltide. So annoyed, I run into a mob and don't realize that my abilities are on cooldown and die again. In the span of like 10 seconds, I go from 300 cinders to 75 cinders. It's just not a good feeling because now I have to farm those same cinders that will take 100 times as long to get versus the time it took for me to lose them. Another thing about Helltides are the time constraints. There's a 60-minute window where we have to farm the 300 cinders needed for the Living Steel chest. So if I randomly just log on and see that there's 10 minutes left in a Helltide, I'm not going to waste my time and instead have to wait the 10 minutes remaining plus the 75 minutes in between Helltides. Instead, we should just have constant rotating Helltides, similar to Blood Harvest. You're going to see that a lot of these solutions are just give it the Blood Harvest treatment. And hell, even throw in a world boss fight at the end of it. So lore-wise, you could say that the demons have been invading for the past 60 minutes, and that gave the big bad enough time to be summoned into the Helltide, and now we have to take him down. Another great feature of the Blood Harvest is that we can transfer our potent blood, blood lures, and seeker keys to another character. So I can farm really fast with my level 90 and then log in with my level 37 and spend any of that potent blood or keys or lures on the Blood Harvest events. I haven't personally been min-maxing that hard, but just having the possibility to do so is nice. I think keeping the density the same but just cutting the Helltide area in half would make it leaps and bounds as better as well. One thing that makes Blood Harvest so great is less time spent on the horse. You clear out a mob, you get on the horse for 1 or 2 seconds, continue fighting, and then just rinse and repeat. Whereas Helltides have a lot of empty areas that are just spent on horseback getting from one spot to another. So in a previous video I made back in late July, you used to be able to salvage legendary weapons and get a Forgotten Soul every time. But it seems like there was some kind of hidden nerf to this, so now that just makes us even more dependent on Helltides when we want to upgrade or enchant our items. So bringing that back would be a nice addition as well, since I really can't imagine that people were complaining about that. So the solutions are really simple, and it's really just give it the Blood Harvest treatment, rotate Helltides every 60 minutes. Optionally, a world boss at end would be really cool. I guess it's nice that we don't have to wait 6 hours. We went from 6 hours to 3.5 hours, but every hour, it'd be even better. Cinders not evaporating at the end of a Helltide. We don't lose any cinders from dying, making the area smaller with the same overall density, and then just bringing back salvaging legendary weapons for Forgotten Souls. But now that I've talked all this complaining out of my system, really it all just comes down to being restricted when wanting to fight Duriel. We have to get the Shards of Agony from Grégoire, and the only way to summon Grégoire is we have to do Helltides, and we can only complete Helltides in this certain time frame. My Necro is at level 90, so all I want to do right now when I log on is fight Duriel and get Uber Uniques. All I want to do is make my character stronger, and I can't do that most of the time when I'm playing the game. But to leave this on a positive note, hopefully the Blood Harvest is just a testing ground for the future state of Helltides, and either with Season 3 or a future update, they will bring over a lot of those features from Blood Harvest to Helltides. But that's all I got for now. Thanks for being my Helltides therapist, and let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on Helltides, Blood Harvest, state of the game, what have you, and I will talk to you soon.